Drew Brees says, maybe I play in a pickleball tournament. Maybe I come back to the NFL.
Whoa.
He says that after tweeting, holy hell, this is Drew Brees' exact word, despite speculation from media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC like I did last year. I may play football again. I may focus on business and philanthropy. Maybe.
Huh? We'll see.
Which go 1-1, by the way. Sure. You do really good at the first one. That second one normally follows.
Yep.
Every big-time business person is known as what? A philanthropist.
That is right.
So maybe I'll work on those two. Who knows? I may focus, I may trade for the pickleball tour. Senior golf tour, maybe, huh? Champions, good luck.
Whoa.
Hey, good luck, Drew.
Is that golf tour a shot at you?
I don't know what it is. It's like, I think it's a shot of him being retired and being older. But I just want to let you know, how old is he? 40 what?
43?
43 years old. I got 8 years a head start on you of training for the seniors tour.
Yeah.
Okay? It's called the Champions Tour, too. Have a little bit of fucking respect, Drew.
One time.
Anyways, maybe he coaches the kids. Or all of the above. Maybe he coaches his kid, plays in the Champions Tour, plays in the pickleball tour that he is so damn good at pickleball. Maybe he works on his philanthropy and his business. Maybe he plays football again. Maybe he works for the NBC. And maybe he is still undecided. All of the above might be true. Drew Brees says, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing next year. How does anybody else know what I got going on? But this announcement comes shortly after a couple tweets where he starts looking at all the weapons that the New Orleans Saints has and says, man, it would be a lot of fun to maybe throw them the football. It would be a lot of fun for me to maybe get back into football. Man, signing Jarvis and Tyrann Mathieu makes me want to come back and play again. Great additions, leaders, and players.
It's fucking good.
Wow.
Drew's back.
Let's go, Drew.
The thing about Drew is,
He's never going to miss an opportunity to make it about himself one last time.
what did happen with him at NBC? Allegedly, follow-ups were he didn't enjoy the in-studio work. He enjoyed the analyst and broadcast part of the game. But the only thing you can do really at NBC on game is Sunday Night Football or Notre Dame football. Andrew Marchand of the New York Post reported on Sunday that Drew Brees, the broadcaster, is out after one season at NBC. Marchand reports that Brees wants to do games, isn't a fan of being in the studio, and there wasn't much for him to do outside of Notre Dame booth after Chris Collinsworth signed a contract extension recently. Did we know that?
No, I didn't.
Congrats, Chris.
Hey,
Hey, way to go, Chris.
Hey,
Hey,
Chris.
Had a baby, Chris and Tarico.
Yeah, boys.
Interesting timing by Brees with his next two tweets. In his first one, he said the Saints were signing Jarvis Landry and Tyrann Mathieu makes you want to play a little bit again. 9 minutes later, he tweeted he's undecided about his future. So friends of Drew Brees are allegedly telling reporters, one friend of Brees told me Sunday night he hasn't mentioned playing football to him this offseason. Okay? I'm a good friend, Drew.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We push sleds in the parking lot together. We're part of the same workout cult.
That's right.
We pray together. We got Little League Baseball together.
Drink smoothies.
We're having smoothies together.
Yeah.
Smack a time amount
Yeah,
together.
elbowing unassuming people in the forehead.
Well, it was more top.
Yeah, his actual neck, I guess I should say.
Yeah. That's what happened to Ty by Drew Brees. But his friend, who's really close to him, said, hey, Pete, listen, he hasn't mentioned me at all playing football.
No.
I mean, every once in a while we're getting a hot dog next to each other at the same baseball game because our kids are playing baseball. Let me tell you, his kid's got a great arm.
Yeah, good player.
Great arm, good player. Now, his other son, kind of can't turn too real
Liability
well.
in the outfield as
So
well.
he's actually asked me to kind of coach him because I had a little bit of time in the minors. So me and Drew's relationship has really gotten pretty big. And he hasn't told me one time about playing football in the offseason. Not one time. In his left shoulder surgery, May 2nd at age 43, after not playing football for 16 months, would seem to make a return to football problematic at best. Another person who knew Brees told Peter King, he's not playing football.
No.
That person knows Drew Brees real well.
Yeah.
He's not playing football. Business philanthropy? Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe.
Coaching with his kids like he does with me? I'm that source, by the way. Maybe. Who knows what Drew Brees is going to do? It doesn't sound like he's playing football at all, though. Jameis Winston's got to be sitting there and saying, when I was a kid, I thought my passion was football. But then I found out when the game was taken away from me that my passion was playing football. Actual quote from Jameis Winston on NFL Network. Now Drew Brees is trying to take away the playing thing again from Jameis. Jameis can't be happy, but he's got to focus on himself. But that Saints team, they were once $70 million over the salary cap not too long ago. Now, with additions of the Honey Badger and Jarvis Landry, restructuring everybody's deal and a quarterback that they're focused on, a lot of Saints fans are getting chirpy on the internet, and I think they should. I think there's good reason for the Saints fans to get chirpy, even though we thought they were fucking dead. When Sean Payton retires out of nowhere, maybe to become an owner of the Miami Dolphins. That has not been legitimized or confirmed, but that retirement did seem to come out of absolute nowhere. There's $70 million over salary cap. They got no damn quarterback. Now here on May 16th, it feels like they got some direction and some hope. Good for the Saints, man.
And just like looking at the previous drafts, these rookie wide receivers, they get Olave too. Like they actually do have a very good offense, good O-line, and it feels like their defense isn't going
Always
anywhere. They hired from within with Dennis Allen. Nothing really changes on that side, except you got the Honey Badger now.
A good leader, right? Everybody has the landlord out there. Jarvis
Uh-huh.
Landry, good leader. Coming back to the Louisiana roots, too. I want to see the Saints do well. Good for all parties down there. Do you keep up with the sports media news? You just talked about Emmanuel Sanders maybe joining our world. Hey,
I love it.
Drew Brees says, hey, listen, I might be working at NBC. I might be pickleballing.
Yep.
I might be business and philanthropying. I might be playing football again. I might be training for the Champions Golf Tour. I might be coaching my kids, or I might do all of it. I have no idea. How'd this work out? Because there was alleged rumors of him getting traded to Fox a couple weeks ago. He wants to call games, I think is what's being reported, and NBC doesn't have the Rolodex of games to call. Do you know anything about this, or do you kind of stay out of this business?
I kind of love the media speculation world.
Okay.
It's fun.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, so my read on this thing, he's not playing again. Dennis Allen kind of came out and said it, but like, I think he was knowing what would get all of our attention and get the retweets. He mentioned that.
Drew?
I think
No.
Not true.
Drew?
He wouldn't make it about himself.
Pretty savvy.
He's good. He was good. He was good in the studio too. He hated it. He fucking hated it, I guess.
He's not playing again. Pickleball, I don't know if pickleball would actually make some sense. He'll have some free time. I imagine he's very good at it. It didn't sound like it worked out at NBC. My guess is he's probably not thrilled that it leaked. I could see him calling games again, but you're right. NBC just doesn't have the amount of games. So, I'm sure we'll see him again, just not on the field.
Well, great answer. We appreciate that. So I think Drew Brees has no idea what he wants to do. I will say this as a spectator. I thought Drew was great in the studio role, even though he fucking hated it. He did not like it, I guess, apparently, allegedly.
That would make sense, though, to me that if he does leave NBC because of that, it's true. The only game NBC has is what? The Collinsworth Sunday night game with Al Michaels used to have.
Yeah, it's Sunday Night Football or Notre Dame.
That's it. So, yeah, Drew wants more options, and I guess if I don't know if he didn't want that Sunday night gig or they already signed Collinsworth to the extension, whatever it is, if Drew wants to do games, yeah, you got to go somewhere else. But, yeah, wherever he goes, he'll be successful. But what if he goes over to Fox and they're like, hey, we'll give you $750,000 a year? And he's like, well, Tom, he's got 37.5. Wait.
Allegedly. Yeah. And they say, well, that has not been confirmed, and we do not want to confirm it. But also, we've never seen you on enough games on our broadcast. Well, you didn't see Tom either. Well, Tom's greats of all time.
It's Tom Brady.
I'm pretty good, too, I guess. I have all the records. Remember, they stopped the game in the middle of it when I threw a completion.
Is he pissed at NBC does he think NBC leaked this info?
Yes.
That's why he tweeted that.
I don't know. That's what everybody is assuming, though, that Drew isn't happy about the way the news was released about him not being there. Although he left in there, I may go back to NBC. So maybe NBC left it kind of wide open. Like, hey, if you would like to come back, there's not a lot of games. If his focus is calling games, NBC would not be the place. It would be Fox or it would be CBS. Mm-hmm. But who knows how much they'll pay him. The initial inkling or rumor mill, and I forget who I was reading, maybe Peter King, maybe Marshawn, I forget who I was reading. Greg Olsen appears to be the number one that is coming. I don't want to call him lame duck number one because that would be fucked up because Greg Olsen's very good at what he does. But Greg Olsen, allegedly the number one analyst for Fox this upcoming season, they have the Super Bowl next year. So if you're Greg Olsen and you get a chance to call an entire season as number one crew and the Super Bowl, you would think that that'd be great marketing for whichever job you want next when Tom Brady comes in at $37.5 million to not only call the games but also be a steward of the game or whatever. I just think if you can get in there, you should get in there. Tirico, though, has been waiting to get in the NFL for a long time now. Remember, he left ESPN to go to NBC, and everybody was like, Sunday Night Football. And then the immediate thought was, well, Al Michaels is not slowing down at all. Now Al's at Amazon. Tirico gets a shot. Collinsworth signs for another 5 years. Drew Brees might have not seen that coming, and now he wants to kind of figure it out for himself. Who knows?
Well, and if it was a mutual part between him and ABC or NBC, you got to assume
nothing's mutual.
Nothing. Yeah, that, and they're probably like, oh, you think you are, warranting $15 million or whatever it is, or at least a little below Tony, but not too far below, especially after the 37.5 leak. It's like they might say go to CBS and see what they'll give you, and then if if he doesn't get the offer or doesn't get the chance to call games, does he just go back to the studio, or is that
Maybe
where-
Drew just fucking hated it.
Yeah, just
Probably
done with it?
seeing.
But if he goes to CBS, is he okay being the number 2 crew? Because Tony's the number 1 crew.
Well, and that's what I was alluding to about Fox. Allegedly, Greg's going to be number 1. So is he
Yeah.
number 2 now? That's where Greg Olson was. And that's an interesting jump for Drew Brees to go from, Pro Football Night in America, like 16. Football Night in America has like 16 million viewers, I think, every single week.
Jeez.
16.
Okay.
Biggest show.
Yeah.
Biggest show, huge studio show. Biggest studio show in sports, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Every single week, dialed in, huge numbers. And maybe he just hated it, but I don't know. Unless Drew has the utmost faith in what he can become as a football in-game commentator, would you take that to go down to number 2 to potentially go elsewhere? Maybe if you just get it, or 3, if you get a chance to do it, I guess you just got to take it. If you're, if the universe
If he really
is
wants to do
telling you.
games, like if he really wants to do games, then I guess he'd have to go prove it. That's probably why he doesn't know where he's going at yet either, because like the options are kind of weird in where he's at.
Maybe Drew just fucking hates it all. Maybe Drew doesn't know what the hell he wants. Maybe
I
just
can
wants
get
to.
it. I can understand like doing a studio show like that. Like it's not my specialty for sure. Like those quick studio shows like that it's not my thing.
This guy does a studio show every
Yeah.
single day.
I mean, like those kind of set up studio shows where you have like 40 seconds and you got to touch every subject of the league because, like I would, there'd be 2 or 3 like, you can code at this guy. Like, I don't care about this one.
Well,
Or I just don't have an opinion. Sometimes I don't have an opinion on things, and I think that's okay.
that's because you live your bet life.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
right.
Oh, yeah.
You do live your bet life.
Don't you think this is some sort of indication too of like what all these places view him as a broadcaster? Because if there was talks about him getting traded and they don't really have a solidified number 1 booth yet, if he was worth the shit, they would trade for him immediately. It's like it's Drew Brees. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's a quarterback. Like I just and when
They're
you-
just handing those gigs over to people
yeah.
that stink on the microphone.
for sure.
That's
So you-
probably what Drew's thinking too. Like, man, they got a lot of bums on these microphones out here. I think you maybe take one step back to kind of prove yourself somewhere, and then you go. Maybe you'll have an incentive-based contract somewhere. I don't know.
But I don't think there's any way that he would be okay with calling the number 2 or number 3 game. Like Notre Dame, it's not the NFL, but there's a shitload of people that are watching Notre Dame football. Like if you're calling, the 3rd best NFL game every week, like how long until he's like, I want the
3rd best on that network.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I thought he was much better in Stooge than
For sure.
For sure.
calling a game.
I thought he was very good in studio.
How many games did he do?
All of them.
Oh, Notre Dame's.
I think he did 1 NFL game.
Oh yeah, the New Orleans Saints game.
Yeah.
Playoff game.
Yeah.
Which he was honored at halftime, right?
Yeah, and that was just a weird, probably not, they didn't
He
really
forced
set him
his
up
way
for
into that
success,
one.
I
You're
don't
right.
think.
That one, I may be reading headlines. I read something when they were talking about this, and they acted like that game was like bumpy or weird or like
Yeah,
it was not a
good.
great game.
Yeah, they were retiring his fucking jersey at halftime. It was a playoff game for a city that he is literally the guy. I mean, that would be difficult to call. I don't want to make too many excuses for Drew Brees, but I found him to be good in the studio.